Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. I think I'm going crazy and I need some help. Yes, it's another rider issue video. I did work around the one that causes it to crash, but this one is more of it having intended behavior and causing me problems as a result. Um, so as you know, I've been porting Socially Distant from Unity to my own game engine, and if you didn't know that, well, there's the announcement. I'm calling it my own game engine not because I wrote the entire thing. The abstraction layer is monogame. It's as simple as that. But I did write the UI system and a whole bunch of other stuff, and that's worrying because, well, I thought that I had caused a performance problem, and here's why. Um, if I boot the game, um, it comes up, and then things kind of just pop in after a bit. And, well, great, we're at a desktop, cool, the game's loaded, but, today I've been working on porting system settings, and if I click on system settings, which is not in the right spot, and there are two warning icons next to it, I'm not done the port, but if I click on it, it takes a bit to come up. And, you know, I thought maybe that it just took forever because it's building UI, but no. Dragging the window is awfully slow, other than the fact that the mouse is not behaving properly. That's a bug in the game engine. I'm gonna fix that eventually. That's not related. It's just look at the frame rate. Obviously it's not being measured by the game. I haven't implemented that, but it's horrible, right? Now, if I open up something like the GUI inspector, you can see even that took a bit to come up. I hit F9 and it just lagged while it came up. And that's worrying because hitting F9 to open the GUI debugger does not result in any kind of layout update or anything like that in the game's UI. It just doesn't. It should just toggle a boolean and then I am GUI spins up. That should not be that slow. So obviously something is hurting things. And if I zoom in, you can see that it's just... Why is it so laggy? Like, I'll admit it's a little better when I'm going through IMGUI, but like, you can see how it's missing a lot of my mouse inputs. This is not good. Well, this is not my fault. If I close out of the game and hit the play button, not to be confused with the big bug button here, but the play button, which is not the F5 key that I usually hit, it comes up instantly, so that's a good sign. And if I zoom in to hit system settings, it comes up instantly. And moving the window around is buttery smooth. Like, I don't even notice any hitches. It's fine. Opening IMGUI comes up instantly. And hovering over things, it's not missing any of my inputs. It's perfect. And there's a lot of UI in the tree, obviously, but, you know, that shouldn't cause too much problems. Trust me, the Unity version of the game spawns a lot more stuff. Anyway. What's going on? Well, you might be thinking that clicking the play button builds the game in release mode, while clicking the debug button builds the game in debug mode. And when you build the game in debug mode, you're not going to get compiler optimizations. But no, that's not the case, because that's what this dropdown is for. Yes, debug mode, you don't get compiler optimizations, or as many as you'd want in a release build, but it's set to debug, and it doesn't matter if I click F5 or hit the play button, it's going to use the debug build profile. And I can swap over to release, and maybe I'll get a little bit more benefit from being in release mode, and that's great, because that's how I'm going to ship the game. I'm probably even going to do AOT. We'll figure that out. But I'm in release mode now, and we'll hit F5. And as you can see, it's just as, if not a little bit slower than it was. And that's not just startup time, that's the entire test suite of me opening settings. As you can see, this time it didn't even register a click. That time it did, and it came up. And, dragging the window around is very laggy. Not good. And then opening IMGUI. Okay, great, cool. It opened a giant window that it should not have opened, but there it is. And as you can see, it's missing all the inputs as well. And it did take a while to boot up as well. So yeah, this is not a build configuration thing, because we are in release mode right now. If I quit out of it, and, stop the debugger, occasionally sometimes it just decides to die. If I stop the debugger and then hit the play button, again, we're in release mode, and it comes up buttery smooth, completely instantly. Everything's fine. I can click on system settings, it comes up immediately. I can drag the window around, and, you get the point. I'm just going to go through the test suite again, but IMGUI, it's working fine. Awesome. Cool. So, yeah. I have looked through... Now, first of all, I've profiled this using .profile, and thank you to my Patreon supporters for allowing me to afford .ultimate, which I found out is required to use .profile, or .trace, whatever you want to call it. But, I looked at it through .trace, nothing jumped out immediately. Yes, my layout code does kind of take a little bit to do its thing, and there are some recursive calls that could be optimized. That's basic stuff, and I've done most of that already. So that's not it. And it's not the build configuration, because it performs identical, at least at face value, regardless of whether I'm in debug or release. The entire cause of this performance issue is the rider debugger being attached. Now, if I go into settings, I did look this up. One of the things that people say to do is to go into plugins, wherever that is, right here, and turn off dynamic program analysis. And if I search, well, as part of me troubleshooting the rider crash, I disabled every plugin I don't use, including things like JavaScript support. I don't have dynamic program analysis turned on, so that's not relevant. And then what I did is I looked through some of the debugger settings, and one of the things that jumped out to me was the settings for the just-in-time compiler. By default, this first one is checked, which is disable AIT optimization on module load. I unchecked that. We'll let it optimize. And then use AIT even if pre-compiled assemblies are available. This is turned off by default, and that's probably not a good idea to have that turned on. And then de-optimize methods on step into and methods with breakpoints. I don't have any breakpoints enabled. This is for .NET 8 and later, or Windows. And Windows, I believe. I'm on Windows. Totally. This is totally Microsoft Windows with my taskbar at the top of the screen and the window icon and stuff in it, and this giant KDE logo right here. Yeah, I'm totally on Windows. That settings applicable to me. That whole tangent was me saying I'm on Windows by accident and rolling with it. Anyway, so I disabled that. Not that it's even relevant. So, yeah. As far as AIT goes, it should be fine. It should not be doing stuff with that. I even disabled some of the value watching stuff like that. And then that didn't have an effect. And then I looked, and there was Where was it? Hot reload. You should not use hot reload when developing a game. No. I mean, you're dealing with things like vertex buffers and textures and stuff on the GPU, and if you're not careful with hot reload, you're gonna blow something up, and I don't want to deal with that. So I turn that off. I don't use it. And so that didn't have an effect. And I can't figure out. Maybe there's something under Tools, Set, and Build. Presentation. I don't know what's under here. This would be for user interface stuff. Changes in this page will be saved for the current solution. To save the changes. No, okay. I'm looking here. So there's mono, there's like your MS build setup. That's all like fine. We have use resharper build. Run build after solution is loaded. Probably don't want that. Restore NuGet packages before build. Probably do want that, but okay, that's your core count. Invoke pre and post build for skip. Nope. I don't. None of this is what I need. Design time build. Solution loading. None of this is relevant to me. Build logging. Again, none of this is relevant to me. So, nothing in here that's useful. It's all build-related stuff, not anything to do with debug. It's basically... I mean, there's advanced settings. I'm not quite sure what'll be in here. There's bookmarks. Database stuff. I don't care about database. No, more debug stuff. Maximum number of recent expressions. Show inlay run to... Nope. Okay, that's something that I want to disable because it's a user interface thing that gets in my way. Okay, fine, but that's not anything to do with the performance issue I'm having. Great. Tools. What's under tools? Action, web file, CS, terminal, custom tools. If, none of this is the debug stuff, rsync server stuff, startup tasks, Windows Forms Designer. Who's going to use that? Example preview. None of that is anything that I need. So, this is where I need some help. I feel like I'm going crazy. How do I get JetBrains Rider's debugger to not do whatever it's doing that causes the game's frame rate to absolute crap? I want the debugger attached when I'm working on the game. There are times when I need it to be attached, and it's annoying as hell to restart the game when I want to debug it, and then have to navigate through a menu that's running at 2 frames per year. This is not good, and it did not affect the Unity version of the game, and it is not my code specifically that's causing the problem, because if I don't run in debug, like with the debugger attached, it's fine. I can even run with dot trace attached to it, and it's fine. So, yeah, if anyone knows what Ryder's doing, please let me know. I want to turn it off. That's about it. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the stream tomorrow. I'm going insane.